It is strange to be so universally known and yet be so lonely. Albert Einstein. Uncommonness is an attractive trait to strive for in both things and people. To assign commonality to an object is to determine that it is not worthy of note nor differentiation. The lamp in your bedroom, the remote for your television set, and the way your voice sounds in your own head are all fine and regular things to you. They do not merit conversation or notice. Life rolls on before us and behind us and carries us along with it in waves of everyday activities that are so intensely uninteresting and mundane. Often we fail to recall many of the day's precious hours as we close our eyes to sleep. The disease of routine is sickening and grows as a mass of dissatisfaction in the soul. Though comforting in some aspects, the commonality of it all pushes down any potential aspiration in most young minds and pressures the strong-willed and weak-minded alike to embrace the waves and flow with the current of normality. Some sense they can do more, but are too full of fear and weighed down by pessimism to try. Some feel they should do more, yet understand the role that they provide to those around them and opt to continue on in their habitual lifestyle. And some still cannot rid themselves of the gnawing awareness that they must do more, that inaction itself compromises some integral portion of themselves. Yet even the latter eventually grow absent of ambition with time and succumb to the waves of life like the rest. You will die. Everyone and everything does. You may die alone. Whether you die alone or not depends on several factors. Firstly being whether you consider physical location to be indicative of aloneness. French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre has said, "If you are lonely when you are alone, you are in bad company." Suppose that you are deeply and passionately in love. The person that you have found yourself enamored with is not the object of your affection only when present before you, but constantly. Your physical proximity to them does not directly influence your infatuation with them. To love, to experience a mature and very sincere love, is to feel a closeness with someone that cannot be explained geographically or measured by proximity. When you die, you may reflect on the years that you have lived and feel a warming closeness with an individual or individuals with whom you have constructed a bond with that outmeasures any encroaching loneliness tenfold. Alternatively, you may lie surrounded by your family and all those with whom you have built relationships and yet feel a harrowing jolt of fear as you realize that you feel no real connection to any of the bodies that surround you. The human experience is common, the miracle of life unimpressive as a whole. You've seen your chest rise and fall thousands of times and are not overcome by wonder at the filling and emptying of your lungs that fuels the organic contraption in which you think and feel and experience the world. Everyone you have ever met has lungs. You are not special for possessing them too. You awake to an alarm and after draping fabric on your body, operate an automobile, a machine so terrible in its power and capability, it has shaped the course of transportation, warfare, and society. Yet you are not overwhelmed. So many of your peers have also operated such a machine. You are not unique for doing so too. To stand out from your peers requires more than those activities and possessions which make up your cultural norm. The intense commonality with which you view yourself is hideous to you. But to what can you turn? Some choose music. Some individuals dedicate intense study to the pursuit of bettering their own musical taste in an attempt to differentiate themselves from the masses. Not a terrible idea. You could focus your efforts towards creating a persona that only enjoys music that your peers have never heard of. That would be very uncommon, wouldn't it? You could become infatuated with a subject you're interested in. Pre-industrial cooking, perhaps. Maybe knife making, perhaps crocheting. Think of how interesting you would appear if only you learned and memorized all there is to know about something so specific. That would be very uncommon, wouldn't it? You could create, paint, write, carve, play. Anything you can conceive, you can spawn into the world. Your emotions can be splattered across a canvas with nonsensical strokes. Your unoriginal and derivative compositions can be banged out and sang to, and your half-baked insecurities recorded into an online video platform for the rest of the world to examine and critique. That would be very uncommon, wouldn't it? You could accept your position, a befuddled host to 39 trillion microbial cells of bacteria, viruses, and fungi wandering about instinctively and unnecessarily trying to find meaning in meandering. You could reach the conclusion that you are, like the lamp in your bedroom and the remote to a television set, wholly common, and, after reaching that conclusion, choose to live a life of intentional optimism in the face of seclusion. I commend you if that's your verdict. I have yet to reach one myself, but I can appreciate the serenity that seems to come with compliance to life's waves. Commonality is indiscriminate in its melancholy.